Not in doing what you like, but in liking what you do is the secret of happiness. My father gave me the best advice of my life. He said, "Whatever you do, don't wake up at 65 years old and think about what you should have done with your life. Make it a rule of life never to regret and never to look back. Regret is an appalling waste of energy, you can't build on it, it's only good for wallowing." I'd rather regret the risks that didn't work out than the chances I didn't take at all. If your ship doesn't come in, swim out to it. A pessimist is one who makes difficulties out of his opportunities. An optimist is one who makes opportunities out of his difficulties. My father used to say, "Don't raise your voice. Improve your argument." What on earth would a man do with himself if something did not stand in his way? Don't worry makes a better motto when you add others. When you are actually powerful, you don't need to be petty. None are so brave as the anonymous. To be without some of the things you want is an indispensable part of happiness. Nobody ever sees his own face in the glass. What he observes there is a compound, divided into three parts, one part himself as he really is, one part representing what he expects to see, and a third part, what he wishes to behold. You are only young once. After that you have to think up some other excuse. No man who is in a hurry is quite civilized. They always say time changes things, but you actually have to change them yourself. Thinking is the hardest work there is, which is the probable reason why so few engage in it. Ideals are like stars, you will not succeed in touching them with your hands. But, like the seafaring men on the desert of waters, you choose them as your guides, and following them reach your destiny. The holy passion of friendship is of so sweet and steady and loyal and enduring a nature that it will last through a whole lifetime, if not asked to lend money. It's not necessary to take a person's advice to make him feel good, all you have to do is ask it. Monsters are real, and ghosts are real too. They live inside us and sometimes, they win. The best bridge between despair and hope is a good night's sleep. The older you get, the more you realize that kindness is synonymous with happiness. Happiness makes up in height for what it lacks in length. constant use will wear out anything, especially friends. Don't say you can't until you prove you can't. Life is what happens to us while we are making other plans. You are genuinely happy if you don't know why. Experience is not what happens to you, it is what you do with what happens to you. Worry is like sand in an oyster, a little produces a pearl, too much kills the animal. People who complain that they don't get all they deserve should congratulate themselves. I have this rule I live by: only do what you can do. That means you're never looking outside for what's popular, you're always looking inside for what's true. The most difficult thing in the world is to know how to do a thing and to watch somebody else doing it wrong, without comment. Worry never robs tomorrow of its sorrow, it only saps today of its strength. Schedule all your worrying for a specific half hour about the middle of the day. Then take a nap during this period. One good way to test your memory is to try to remember the things that worried you yesterday. If there is one thing I would teach a child, above all else, it is to be able to imagine himself into the flesh of other people, to realize his mother's weariness, his father's anxieties, his little brother's lonely fears, and to give of himself generously to ease their burdens. A child who has learned to be consistently generous will become a generous adult, much loved and therefore truly successful. There's no better exercise for strengthening the heart than reaching down and lifting people up. A party without a cake is really just a meeting. Kindness is one thing you can't give away. It always comes back. Nothing bad can happen if you haven't hit the send key. Morale is when your hands and feet keep on working when your head says it can't be done. Humor plays close to the big, hot fire, which is truth. You're never too broken to be fixed. Greed is envy with its sleeves rolled up. Great opportunities to help others seldom come, but small ones surround us every day. Real courage is when you know you're licked before you begin, but you begin anyway and see it through no matter what. The greatest mistake you can make is to be continually fearing that you'll make one. Each generation imagines itself to be more intelligent than the one that went before it and wiser than the one that comes after it. We give them the love we can spare, the time we can spare. In return, dogs have given us their absolute all. It is without a doubt the best deal man has ever made. The world is not yours for the taking, but for the trying. Try hard. Intelligence is when you spot the flaw in your boss's reasoning. Wisdom is when you refrain from pointing it out. Play is often talked about as if it were a relief from serious learning. But for children, play is serious learning. Play is really the work of childhood. The most sincere compliment we can pay is attention. I still close my eyes and go home. I can always draw from that. Hating people is like burning down your own house to get rid of a rat. The most important trip you may take in life is meeting people halfway. Never let a problem to be solved become more important than a person to be loved. Never fear shadows. They simply mean there's a light shining nearby. The world is extremely interesting to a joyful soul. No day in which you learn something is a complete loss. The best way to keep children at home is to make the home atmosphere pleasant and let the air out of the tires. Mistakes are a fact of life. It is the response to the error that counts. Let us endeavor so to live, that when we come to die, even the undertaker will be sorry. What a strange world this would be if we all had the same sense of humor. The best way to predict the future is to create it. A problem is a chance for you to do your best. The most important thing that parents can teach their children is how to get along without them. What I do today is important because I am exchanging a day of my life for it. If you wish to make an apple pie truly from scratch, you must first invent the universe. You can't turn back the clock, but you can wind it up again. We spend the first part of our human experience avidly accumulating things and the other half wondering what in the world we're going to do with all the stuff. There is only one certainty in life, and that is that nothing is certain. The narrower the mind, the broader the statement. You cannot do a kindness too soon, for you never know how soon it will be too late. The squeaky wheel may get the most oil, but it's also the first to be replaced. Just be good and kind to your children. Not only are they the future of the world, they're the ones who can sign you into a home. Love doesn't make the world go round. Love is what makes the ride worthwhile. Only a fool tests the depth of the water with both feet. It is useless to try to hold a person to anything he says while he's madly in love, drunk, or running for office. Temptation usually comes in by a door that has been deliberately left open. Everybody has to be somebody to be anybody. Whatever your lot in life, build something on it. Patience often gets the credit that belongs to fatigue. Memories are everyone's second chance at happiness. Every exit is an entry somewhere else. You only have to do a very few things right in your life so long as you don't do too many things wrong. If you can give your child only one gift, let it be enthusiasm. Pay no attention to what the critics say. A statue has never been erected in honor of a critic. Accept that some days you're the pigeon, and some days you're the statue. The best index to a person's character is A. How he treats people who can't do him any good, and B. How he treats people who can't fight back. Never tell people how to do things. Tell them what to do and they will surprise you with their ingenuity. If you want children to improve, let them overhear the nice things you say about them to others. To err is human, to refrain from laughing, humane. To err is human, to forgive, canine. One of the lessons of history is that nothing is often a good thing to do and always a clever thing to say. I would rather live in a world where my life is surrounded by mystery than live in a world so small that my mind could comprehend it. As long as the world is turning, we're going to be dizzy. I would rather sit on a pumpkin and have it all to myself than to be crowded on a velvet cushion. It's a whole lot more satisfying to reach for the stars, even if you end up landing only on the moon.